Okay. So, I have the answer written down. I just did it off screen, off recording, because I remember what it is. So, if you look at the first 9 numbers, and then there's a little gash, a little slash here to separate them. So, if you separate each of these into 9 numbers, you should get like, how many would it be? There's like 11 sets of, oh god, like 11 sets of 9, if I remember correctly. I think, yeah, I think this way 11. And within those 9 numbers, there's 1 digit missing. So take the first one, for instance, which is, yeah, so the first one is not this, because this one's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that one's all 9 numbers. It would be this one. So if you start from, oh god, it's 2, 1, 4, 6, 7, 9, 8, and 3. And then you put and then you separate them from the rest. So the missing number is 5 in this section. And then the next one will be 9, 3, 4, 2, 1, 7, 8, 7, 5, 8. So the one missing there is 6. And then you write these numbers out basically, and it comes to something like 5, 6, 4, 3, 6 for the first one. And then for the second one, it's like 6, 1, 3, 4. I think that's right. And they end up being your coordinates. Yeah, how many numbers is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is it 8 or 9? So it's 8, every 8 numbers, and there's always one missing, but there's not. It tries to trick you. There's at least two digits, or 2 of these segments that are completely that are all numbers. It's really difficult to explain. I suck at explaining puzzles. I really do. But yeah, again, you have to write this down on a notepad, or with actual pen and paper, because God forbid. Yeah, so I can say that. So ignore the first one with the 6. That doesn't need to exist, because that has all the digits in. So from what I know, there's at least the first and the second one. So it's 2, 1, 4, 6, 7, 8, 3. And then the second one is 9, 3, 4, 2, 1, 7, 8, 5. And then the next one, which is 8, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 4, 9, 7 is complete. So that one doesn't exist. Yeah. So it goes 8, 8, 9, 8, 8, 8 in sequential. And that gives you this one. And the next one is like 9, 8, 8, 8, and 8. So the solution should be... that should be the first one. 5, 6, 4, 3, 6. Then it should be 6, 1, 3, 4. There you go. And it gives you this, Davy's code.
Indeed, they are open to but one possible meaning, even if it eludes me at present. As for my own enigma, I have failed to penetrate the secrets of this book. The language is archaic, and my own modest knowledge of ciphers is sorely tested. I have succeeded in drawing forth only insanities and other absurdities. According to this book, if my translation is exact, if one makes this mark with human blood, and then with conviction recites this illuminating verse, 𝘨𝘦𝘴𝘦𝘪𝘳𝘴, the victim is mesmerized, or demons leave his mind. I tell you, Watson, this reads like complete gibberish. I do not know what to make of it.
How did you say it? 𝘨𝘦𝘴𝘦𝘪𝘳... What? These drawings, what a horror! I tell you, Holmes, this book gives me great unease, as does almost everything to do with this affair.
I just recalled, Watson. Didn't Barnes, the bookseller, tell us he had studied ancient history? Perhaps he might help us with the translation of this book. We must seek out better minds, for we are at a standstill. I have not the slightest idea where they could have taken these people and what consequences await them. Let's take our leave and see if Barnes might be of assistance.
Cursed book text. Surprised that he knows how to read that. The old Cthulhu star. Creepy. Very creepy. Well, we know that this is a code. Map coordinates. Yeah, I suck at explaining how this puzzle worked, didn't I? I apologize. It works well in my head, but explaining puzzles is very difficult for me. But yeah, once you understand that, like, each one is missing a letter, and then the letter is part of the code, it becomes much easier to understand. So yeah. Anyway, we're off to Barnes to see. Oh God, Barnes. No, so this is when Barnes turns crazy. Then when we give him this fucking Cthulhu book, it's our fault.
Mr. Holmes, Dr. Watson, a real pleasure to see you. I say, where have you been? You've stayed away for some months now.
Indeed, we took a very long journey and barely made it back. However, we have more important matters to discuss. Didn't you say you have some knowledge of ancient people, their language, writings, and customs?
Indeed I did, Mr. Holmes. Why do you ask?
Yeah, I have a cursed book. Sorry.
Just the man we need. I ran across this esoteric text during our travels and wondered if... Is there something wrong, Barnes?
Mr. Holmes, wherever did you find this? This book, it is worthy of a museum.
If you could be so good as to translate some of these fragments for me, I would be in your debt. I am particularly interested in these pages here. They are in the poorest condition and therefore appear to be the most used.
With pleasure. I will get to work straight away and keep you informed of my progress.
And that is how we turned Barnes from this noble-looking man to what he turns out to be his disheveled self in the next games. You know, completely absolute batshit crazy and shagging all his money down at the Golden Lion. Sorry, Barnes.
Strand! Get the Strand! 3 ships still missing at sea! All aboard feared lost! Get the Strand! Latest word on the missing ships!
Give me the latest edition. There's a good lad.
Thank you, mister.
Colossal Tempest. Many are already calling this storm of the century. What? Witness reports that the winds are increasing and waves higher than 40 feet have been spotted. The storm has a terrible toll on shipping and the lives of the seamen. 34 ships have been reported lost. Bloody hell. This is the coming of Cthulhu. What it happens? It's what's happening. They're summoning the old ones. Till the storm lifts, those lost at sea are only fortunate and faith can carry them home. Oh. The only ray of hope is that the majority of this lighthouse has remained in operation. The road leading to them are largely underwater. Occupants are guarding, and the guardians of the coast, the sailors' lost friends, are manning the posts bravely. Her Majesty the Queen held an emergency meeting with the ministers about the crisis along the coast and learned that similar phenomena are occurring around the world. That's not a good sign, is it? Some scholars speculate that the force and direction of this currents around the coast is amplifying the effect of the waves. Oh, there's another article about AR, which is Arsene Lupin. The victim's unbridled admiration for the canny thief. Don't need to read that crap.
Watson, consider the news of all these missing ships. I have an idea, but it will be necessary to secure a chart for the Scotland coast and nearby seas. No point in asking Barnes. I have no desire to divert his attention from the translation.
True enough, Holmes. But where else would we find such a chart?
Oh, there's only one place we can go where we can find a chart, and that is the Wharf.
It's elementary. It is a sea
The harbour.
We must go to the harbour.
Easy.
Good day, sir.
Good morning to you, gentlemen. Would you care for a pint, or perhaps something finer?
Thank you, but at the moment I have need of information and will have to miss another glass of your fine ale. More's the pity. Would you happen to know where I could find charts of the local waters?
They are all kept at the harbour master's office, but I'm afraid only those with port business are allowed to enter. I trust you understand.
Precisely. What I need is a chart of the Scottish area, where all those ships have wrecked recently.
Indeed, such a sad tale. All those poor souls lost at sea. It seems as if the very devil is at work there. Hang on, a chart of the Scotland coastline, you said? It seems to me I have one in my room over there, behind the bar. Here's the key. Take it and have a look for yourself. If you find it, it's yours for the taking.
Wow, he just happens to have that. Thanks, chap.
I need something.
Key. Ah. Oh, there's Lord Rochester. Guessing this is Archibald? Lord Rochester's son in box for India.
A photograph of Rochester as he
Never came back. I think the only thing we got is this here. So what you need to do is write down this code, because once you click on the maps, you can't really. I'll show you.
I have what we need, Watson. Now let's examine this map.
Yeah, you can't go to your menu. You have to exit. Which is quite annoying. But it's good lord. It was, so the 6 is at the top, is here, and it was 6134, and then it was, oh god, what was it, 56? So down to 56. Would be 57's there, so 56 would be this way. So it was what, 56436, so 564, so somewhere between here, and the 6 was 6134, so 61, so somewhere 134, so somewhere here.
Watson, that's what those mysterious figures meant.
Actually got it right.
Longitude. They indicate a point along the Scottish coast called 𝘱𝘦𝘴𝘮𝘮. Let's bring back the key to the tavern keeper and see if he knows this place.
𝘱𝘦𝘴𝘮𝘮. Yeah, I always struggle with that puzzle, but obviously I got it right today. Nice. I mean, I've done this quite a few times, but yeah, nice.
Did you find everything to your liking?
We did.
Indeed, you are as good as your word. I found the charts just as you said. Does the name 𝘱𝘦𝘴𝘮𝘮 mean anything to you?
Ah, yes. It's a lighthouse along that very coastline. Legend has it, the place was built over a pirate's hideaway. In fact, now that I think on it, that spot is right in the middle of the tempest that is taking down all those ships. Rather odd-looking building. They say the chap who built it, Stevenson I believe his name was, that he fancied up the entrance with foreign symbols, Egyptian obelisks and even a dog with wings. Strange fixings for a lighthouse, isn't it?
Sounds Cthulhu-esque to me, that does. Guess we're going back home. See if Barnes is done.
Mr. Holmes, I was able to translate the pages that you wanted. Come, I will show you.
That was quick.
This book is quite ancient. It tells of a terrifying sect devoted to strange entities. The descriptions are vague, but we can presume the origin of this myth arises from the destructive Leviathan represented in the Bible, a creature said to sleep and dream in a strange city under the sea.
A nightmare sleeping within the sea.
To be exact, the pages you asked me to translate are in fact a prayer or invocation to this entity and the description of the ceremony associated with it. To be frank, what is described in this book would make one laugh, were it not for its reliance on such horribly obscene, morbid, and bloodthirsty language.
And this ceremony, what can you tell me about it?
Promise me you will not laugh. The book says that hundreds or thousands of years ago, during a particular alignment of the stars, a priest performed these rites, invoking the name of a destructive Leviathan. The priest intoned his name and called for his return to this earth so his followers could give him his due. The priest then asked a representative of each nation on the earth to recite the invocation and sacrifice themselves to the sea from atop a colossal natural rock tower surrounded by water. All this is quite absurd, isn't it?
A lighthouse.
Pray continue, Barnes.
As you like. It goes on to say that the ceremony must be held under the image of the messenger of the outside gods. Nothing more exact is said on these entities. However, from their description, their messenger would have a form rather close to the Egyptian Sphinx, except that his face is without feature and jet black in colour. So an idol in its likeness must be present during the ceremony. But can you imagine that? Some so-called priest and an international crowd atop a tower singing in unison before some faceless winged stone lion?
I can imagine it very well, Barnes. You say that these people are to throw themselves into the sea so that their god will have his due. But what is it about? What does this god seek?
That's the most preposterous part of this tale, and proves it to be pure myth and fancy. Even for the sake of argument, this ceremony could never have happened. In such ancient times, it would have been quite impossible to gather representatives from every nation on Earth and in one place.
I understand, Barnes. Humour me a bit more and please answer my last question. What would this Leviathan want from us?
Indeed, we would owe this creature our world. According to this, complete the ceremony and the collective sacrifice, invoke the demon, and he will arise and swallow the earth. Yes, Holmes, they sought nothing less than the end of the world. What nonsense!
Thank you, Barnes. I must leave now. Goodbye. The newspaper dating before our departure. Watson, find it. There was some article about the current alignment of the stars. This may tell us precisely how much time we have left.
But Holmes, surely you can't believe...
The newspaper, Watson. Find that newspaper. Look, Watson! The light is barely lit. This explains the shipwrecks and recent disappearances.
Holmes, if we do not find a place to land, and soon, I fear they will add our names to those poor souls lost in these seas.
Oh, wee! Holy shit.
Oh my God! Holmes, look! The sea! It just swallowed him!
Lambs for the slaughter! Watson, we must stop this!
So every nation is why he's been kidnapping. What did it say? Oh God. It says in here, doesn't it? Chinese, Indian, African tribes, and everything like that. Yeah. So they're trying to reenact the old summoning of Cthulhu. That's a bad thing. Oh. These must be the weird sphinx with the jet black faces. Oh, I can look at them.
They took particular pains to give this statue a featureless black face.
Guess we're heading towards the lighthouse then.